What have I been up to? Well, let's have a look here. If you can recognize this system. Actually, the controller probably gives it away. It's a GameCube. And well, this one was, it's actually one that I used to own many eons ago. Probably back in 2004? 2004, I want to say, which is about 12 years ago. Now, it's been sitting here with some family friends since then. It looks like an old acquaintance might have been using it for quite some time because it was quite dusty. And I, being a game collector, don't really... I never really played the games, I'll be honest. I'm a terrible gamer, but I do like collecting them. They bring back memories of days gone by. Now, this one was still here, but it was not reading discs anymore. So I pulled it apart and I moved the trim pot. Well, let's have a look. I had a look at the trim pot. Should be somewhere between... What are these values? So this is a DOL 001. Somewhere between 450 and 600. I don't know where these numbers came from. There's apparently a little resistor that gives 150 ohms resistance. So that's as low as you're ever going to get it, even if you turn the trim pot to 0. That's what it's going to be. It's between 150, so 150 to something. The higher the number, the better, I believe. Anyway, I rejiggered it. I went from 160, which is what it was on from stock, down to a whopping 150. So it was really, they are such fractional turns. I had no idea it was that sensitive. I knew it was sensitive, I didn't know it was that sensitive though. And the size of the trim pot doesn't help either, it's tiny. I might dig it out and have a look later. I've got to do a few of these to install drive chips, which are Xeno GCs. But I'd actually bought a replacement laser assembly, which sort of sucks because now I have a spare laser assembly. So that's fine. Anyway, I got the drive chip in there as well. Now, the drive chip allows you to play big DVDs, which are fun, and also small DVDs, like that one. So with drive chip, once you get that installed, you also need to check that your laser can read the DVDs that you're going to be using. I'm using animation, which are probably awful, but it does read, which is good, as I'll show you right now. I mean, while we're here, so these little switches at the back here are the lid closed, which I can't hold down and press the power button. Power button's not secured, so it does tend to fall out a little bit if I'm not careful. Actually, there's no winning here, because now I need to... Yeah, I can't reach the controller unless I let go of the thing. If only there was another way. I guess I can go up to gameplay, close the lid. There we go, Sonic Mega Collection. That's what the disc is. So it does read and it seems to play alright, which is good as well. All good things. The battery in the front seems to be a CR2032, got to replace that. A few capacitors somewhere in there. I'm actually using the post-it note with the values as a thing to stop the drive chip shorting out on the metal. I should get that out. But I'm just very happy with that. Things don't often work first time, and it has. So, yeah, just thought I'd make a very quick video showing what I've done. Although it doesn't really show anything, it just shows that there's a disc on top of a GameCube that's in a million pieces. Look at all the screws. Nintendo really went overboard with the screws. Screws? 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 There's screws everywhere. Oh, some more over there. Oh, and a back plate. Yeah, that should probably go back on as well. Well, thanks for watching. I'll have a video on installing the drive chip at a later date, because I do have to do that in another 3 GameCubes. But it's good to have this one back to life. It was one that I wasn't expecting to come back to life this soon, or with as little trouble. And one of the dead giveaways on knowing that this was mine is this ATI label on the front. it's crooked. You can see that was probably me with that little turned corner at the top. Years ago, I probably picked it then. I was like, surely I can realign this. Nope. I gave up. As a result, the label has been crooked for the past 12 years. Where has the time gone? Well, mostly I was working, so that wasted a lot of time. Get a job if you want to waste time. Then you can buy consoles. Thanks for watching. McRetro, out. Why is it that whenever I sign off, I never actually sign off? Anyway, here, ooh, whoops. So there's the poster. Now look, that's a pretty good size to sort of stop contact from the drive chip hitting the shielding. Anyway, there are the capacitor values for the PAL unit. And rough measurements as well on their width. So I'll have to get some of those because they're probably due to fail within the next 5 years, I'd say, if not less. Oh, there's the main board inside the GameCube. Nothing terribly exciting. 2 chips sit under there. There's the capacitors up the back. On the later revision boards, there's a little... This area is sort of crammed full of bits on the board that's underneath here. I'm not going to show you today because I'm digging that deep. But that's pretty boring. So let's have a look at the drive chip installed. Just make sure I'm not going to scratch the laser or anything. There we go. Okay, so there's the underside. There's so many screws to get to this part. But that's the underside of the drive. So it's probably got more circuitry than the GameCube mainboard itself, I'd say. But you can see the part that's out of place. We'll look at that in a second. First, let's look at this this little guy up here. Just in the middle of the screen there's the trim pot, or VR401. If you adjust him and touch the points with your multimeter, you'll get some values. Mine's about 150, down from 162.5. And there's the drive chip. And it was a relatively easy install. I kind of feared that I might be shorting something out because there were some untinned pads. I was worried they might pick up a bit of solder from the next pad over, but it seems to work, so I'm not gonna ask any questions. And that's nice and solid state too, no capacitors that can go wrong. I mean, there's MLCC capacitors there. MLC capacitors, multi-layer ceramic capacitor, yeah. Sitting there, but they're not going to do any harm. But it's actually quite a good install. Easy install. I'd recommend it. And that allows me to read DVD-R media. Would have actually been more effort to replace the drive looking at this. So I would have had to re-solder that, which is 2 solder pads. I would have had to have played with this ribbon cable, which, you know, there's a chance I could tear through it. I'm pretty bad with things lately. Sorry, Retro Swim, if you're watching this. One of his floppy drives has a torn ribbon cable. I wasn't going to tell him. In fact, if he doesn't watch this, he'll never know. Of course, someone else could alert him to it. Save me the hassle. Oh well. Oh, there's another ribbon cable. There would have been 2. Double the chance of ripping. I love it. And this drive door close thing, you could probably just short that by the looks. I mean, it goes up to 2 switches. Not one will activate it, not the other will activate it. They both have to be on. I guess that's in case one accidentally shorts itself. Who knows? Nintendo logic, that's what it is. Oh well. This time, I'm signing off. Bye!